Hey all, Board Game Rants here, where you'll find everything solo tabletop gaming and more, and I thought I would do a little demo of playing Lisboa solo, however using the unofficial variant by GameRulesForOne, the Soloplay rules, a little taste coming up. Okay, zeroing in here. So first of all, I have the deluxe edition, so you can randomize these, all the spots here that normally have pre-printed stuff under them. Got those randomized. And unlike the official solo version, there's usually a bar across E. However, using the unofficial variant, you can, well, what you do is randomly decide 6 spots that are unavailable. And that's why these are turned over. Those will not be available this game. These scoring markers down below can be randomized in any way. All the cubes are put out. It's very much more like a normal game, like probably. This is a little bit different. We each start with officials in each spot, and where they are, left to right, matters because things are going to kind of cycle through. Also, there's some just a random non-played color here that's going to add influence cost. In the first phase of gaming, there's always going to be at least a 1 influence cost to each of us. And in the second phase of gaming, then there's going to be always going to be 2 influence cost, no matter who is taking the action. So that is a little different. I think all else is kind of the same. Down here, this is the big difference though. No decree cards, no decree action here. Anytime anyone takes the the minister action, you're just going to score 3 points. And it's a little bit off of the official variant. That's kind of how things were scored for the official variant solo opponent. Here though, very interesting design. It actually takes, part of the rules is to take the cards and organize them, certain cards in each stack, and there's 7 stacks here. It just so happens this stack is going to pick a color of resource, essentially, a road up there. And then this is going to always have a letter on it. So this is how I flipped over cards here and here to determine what was not available. So for instance, book D, this brown, and then D, that's why I covered this up. That's why that has been taken off, because if you go through the stack, you'll see that that's how that was randomized. Then later on in the game, we're going to be flipping these over to help determine what the AI is going to, where the shop is going to be built when the AI takes that action. This also too is a little bit of a tiebreaker. It'll help us determine a rubble cube tiebreaker when trying to build a shop for the AI. This is sort of a catch-all. If the AI can't really perform an action, this deck will help it perform some sort of action. These 2 decks here, this will help it to pick plans, and this helps. This has a little direction arrow. The direction arrows either go up or left or right to help with some directional stuff. And this is the big one. This is what's going to decide what type of action the AI is going to do. And again, that's a big part of the setup. You know, once it's done, it's pretty easy to reset, but it does take a while getting the right cards in the right decks. Of course, that's all part of the setup. You'll notice we got the coins, same 10 coins, 1 of each resource for the AI. So this is all the AI's area. I've got the AI's, the bot, I guess. And you can play multiple bots too. You don't have to just play with 1. You can play 2, 3 bots if you want. It'll be a lot to keep track of, but I'm just doing 1 bot here. And so here's all the officials. There's its houses. It gets a free plan like usual, and a random royalty thing, and a clergy tile. Those are going to play very similar to how we're going to play. And over here, this is all of our stuff as normal. So, with all that said, let me show you a little bit how this guy works. Okay, all done. Got myself a boat. Got myself a favor. I was calling it royalties, royal favor, whatever. Got my turns done. You'll start. Now, it's important to note that what we have over here on the right side here is a stack of player aid cards to play this variant. You are going to need to refer to these for maybe a couple, 2-3 games before it really starts to sink in. But it does have a common sense feel to it. But all of these lay out the steps to run the AI. It looks a little daunting, and it is at first. Oh, but I assure you it's worth it. For instance, let's find out what. So you can always refer to these, and it does a great job on, right here when you figure out what the bot is going to do, it'll refer you to the letters of the card. So you can quickly thumb through, find the letter that you're looking for to help you out. So how do we determine on the AI's turn what it does? Flip over the card. It's going to have a corresponding resource type on, in this case, books. We know that books corresponds to the minister action. So I'm just going to go through it. I'm not going to explain everything or why I know this stuff, but the way it's played essentially is if it plays a noble card, it's going to get the resource, or I'm sorry, the influence up top, it gets 1. It's going to get the reward on the bottom. So it's going to place its figures out here, and I know once it's all tied up, it's going to place to the builder first, and the king next wants to evenly distribute. Then it has to pay the resource cost to take the minister action, which would be 1, 2 influence minus 1, given where treasury marker is. There is that. Now it gets a free action, just like we would free state action. I know it's not going to produce, and I know it will build a boat. So we look over here, and you see it's got this boat. I already built 1 ship, but there it goes. It's got a cost of 2. It's going to pay with its goods that are least value. So that'll be this one, and then it's between this or this. You can pick. I'm just going to pick that. So it's paid its resource cost to build its boat. This is a good action. So then what it gets to do is it moves the treasury marker up 1, and it's going to get influence according to the boat card, which is 2, but also its archive, which is going to eventually be this card. Once I'm done, you don't discard these cards like we do. It's going to archive it. So it doesn't have an archived card yet. This is the first turn. So it's only going to get, it would have gotten, if this was archived over here, for instance, it would have gotten, we would have referred to it, it would have got an extra influence point. But nothing's been archived. It's its first turn. So it just gets the 2 influence, and it has a ship. And it will also follow the same restrictions as far as building up your sets of cubes as well. So it can only have so many ships. Moving on. Now it gets to take its actual action, which is very simple. So simply 3 points, because there's no decree cards to take, it just gets 3 points. So up here, we'll score the 3 points. Now the AI archives this card to be possibly referred to later. And this card gets flipped over. And it's my turn. Okay, I've gone again. That was rich up there. That treasury was rich. So got me some of that action. And then shipped some goods. Scored myself a point. My ship's been loaded and it's off and running. Ooh, I forgot that when this happens, I get 2 more victory points. I will take those. So there is that. Do my clergy towel. Back over. And also, too, you can follow. I can follow the bot can follow me. So that is also intact. Let's see what the bot's going to do again. We have a tools. So we look here. Tools. Going to take a builder action. We'll take the card. It's going to get 2 influence. Going to get a cloth resource. Now has to pay 1, 2, minus 1. So it just has to pay 1 influence. Now here, I know it's got 5 officials, so it's not going to do the official. It's going to get a plan. Wants a plan of the color it doesn't have, which is blue. So it's going to take blue. Now it's got 2 plans in case it wants to open a public building later. Now is going to take the build action. So here is where we use these cards here. So we'll flip over the top. We've got, wants to build a tool resource shop in row B if it can. So we look up here. There's the tool street, row B. This has been blocked, so it can only build here. Now, it really wants to focus on collecting rubble sets, but right now it doesn't have any rubble, so it just wants to pay the cheapest cost. So I'm going to build there. So we'll go ahead and give it, it's going to get this benefit. So it's going to move up once on the clergy track. When it does, it'll take the highest scoring clergy, and if they're tied, it's just going to take the one in front of it. So it's going to take this. It's going to allow it to take build actions for 2 less influence. When it gains rubble, it's going to get a coin. So looking back up here, it's going to build right here. Already got the prize underneath it. And then it's going to consider, wants to build it the most cheap. And it's going to take this rubble, going to get a coin for its clergy tile. Going back up, cost of this building is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 13. He's got 10, 11. And he's going to pay the rest, 12, 13. Build the shop right there. Now, done. I could now, this is going to go in his archive, and I could follow. I will decide if I want to do that or not here. All right, turns out I decided to follow that action. Had lots of money over there. Now I've got 2 shops. One with the follow, one with, I use an event. If I hadn't used an event, he could have followed. Well, he couldn't have followed, he doesn't have any money, but doesn't follow an event, follows the rules along those lines. So now it is bot's turn. Coin. So when it gets coin, it's basically going to take a treasury action. Treasury action is pretty straightforward. It's going to get the money there, which is 4 more money. Then it's going to scooch this down 1 space. Then it's going to ship goods. When it ships goods, it essentially, the rules are it's going to ship to itself and then me last. And it wants to the best value. So it's going to ship that. And then next up in line would be either or, so it just doesn't really matter. It's going to use this. It's going to ship it over there. It's going to get a total of 6, 7 plus 5 is 11. Give him his money. There we go. Right up to 15. And he's going to ship these goods for 2 points. Very good. And in that case, doesn't take a card off the top of the deck. Okay, and I forgot to ship my good with my bonus. That ended up being pretty nice. Took a open public building action. Got that one up there. Scored a cool 10 points for that building, drawing traffic to my shops. Over here we go. And flip over the next card here. So that is gold. Sometimes I confuse that with a coin, but I didn't this time. So gold, sponsor an event. Okay, sponsor an event. Can it afford the event? Well, the event would cost 3. Easily can afford an event. Come up, we grab the top event. It is, simply get 2 books. This is one of the easier ones. So that stays there. I can easily store that. Well, barely, I should say, with its limitations. And then this goes in the archive, and that is that. All right. Got myself another cube. Took some state actions. Back over to the AI. We've got another build action. Okay, it's taking the last card, so the first phase ends just like normal. So first deck is empty. It's going to get 2 influence points. Going to get a tool resource. Is going to spend 1, 2 resources to take this action. Has at least 5 of those guys, so I know it's not going to. It's going to take a plan. As long as it doesn't have 2 of each, it doesn't. Even Steven. When it's even Steven, it always wants to have 1 it doesn't have, but that's where you take this, is going to tie Break the tie. It's going to take a green plan. And there's the green plan. Excellent. Then is going to build. All right, here we go. The build part here. Gonna go gold. Wants to kibitz on my gold action. I see how it is. D. Well, it can't go in D because I'm there. The one spot, though, it can go is here. So, easy decision. Gonna build there. Should have enough money. Wants to go for rubble sets. So, doesn't necessarily want another earthquake rubble. So, it's going to go with the next one, which is going to be this. So, looking to complete its set. It's getting close. Just needs blue now. And is going to place a house here. Is going to get a favor. And it's going to be most likely one of these. Take that. And then it's going to place this house here. That is gold. Going to pay for that house. That's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11. Yep. Got enough here in cold hard cash. And then open up a store in line with that public building. Is going to score 5 points. Bum deal. Very good. I could follow if I want, but no, I've only got 2 money over there. Too bad. All right, took it easy on myself. Just went event action. Got myself some tools, and I was trying to remember. Oh yeah, needed to make a correction. Took a build action there, so I actually spend 2 less influence taking a build action due to that clergy tile. Now, AI is going to play again. Where now we're down to 2 empty. Let's see what we've got here. Cloth. Okay, king. Gonna play king card. Okay, here we go. So, king card 3. He's gonna get 3 influence. 1, 2, 3. He's gonna score a wig. Bum deal. Remove official. And it's gonna remove from kind of left to right. So, it's gonna remove this one first before it removes one from the builder, if I'm playing that right. I think I am. Then it's going to spend the influence, take the king action. That's going to be 1, 2, 2 influence. Now, already has 2 favors, so isn't going to do that free state action. It's going to move 2 spaces. It's going to move the treasury token up. This has got 4 worth 4 victory points. At the end of the game, any unused clergy tiles, it gets to score the victory points above. That's a big, so it's going to score a lot of points later on. And that is done. Now is going to, so this can sometimes be a little involved. Opening a public building. So, basically just always wants to go for points. Now, and wants to use the plan with the fewest officials. So they're both at 2. He could score tools there. He could score gold here. That's going to score 5 points. This is going to score 4 points. Wants to go for the most points. Has the 2 officials. Has the blue plan. Now wants to complete a rubble set. Needs blue. There's blue there, blue there. Can't go up there because that's taken. So it's going to go here, here. And then it comes down to plan or resource. Almost always goes for resources last. Going to take the plan to match up. It's already got 2 green and a blue. It'll only take a maximum of 2 plans each. So it's going to take that plan as, sorry, getting ahead of myself. Takes this, is going to cover this up. I just took the plan reward. And it's going to get this blue. It's going to complete its set. And it's already started on its next set. And has to spend 2 officials. It's going to take 1 from there and then 1 from there. We're both low on our officials, and you can see how you kind of shift everything to the left there as you remove officials. And it's going to spend its 2 blue, so it will score for these. Scoring's a little different. You just basically get 5 for each completed plan at the end of the game. And that's done. Now it's going to score 5 points. Hot diggity, it is tied with me. And I think that's it. This gets archived. So that was good. That was most of the actions, I think. And hopefully that gives you just a good idea of just how incredibly... I just feel this unofficial solo variant brings this game so much more to life and makes you feel like you're really playing another opponent. They're out there. You got to put a little thought into it, but as you play, and I played this variant about 5 or 6 times now, it really starts to sink in. It really starts to move quick. It really is. It really is worth checking out if you're looking to play this game solo in the way that I feel like it was meant to be played solo. But that's just my opinion. And who am I? Well, until next time, I appreciate you watching on Board Game Rants. And I'm out.